let's talk about Podium. What's going on? Like, what are the themes and like lyrics in this album?
Okay, yeah. So I think like this is like Podium is a Trump 2 record. It is like this project me and Mandy started writing right after Donald Trump got elected the first time. And I hesitate to say stuff that makes Trump more famous or like brings him up unnecessarily, but that is kind of the lyric backdrop of this record, and you should just acknowledge the extremely obvious when it's extremely obvious and needs to be acknowledged. So, I think like it works in two ways on this record. It's like first there's just a direct bunch of politics to the lyrics that like address things that are really happening, but then there's also like kind of a thread of like if you feel like you're just a well-meaning oddball just trying to live your life, and there's this undeniable feeling that there's like an increasingly callous and violent culture that's kind of encroaching on you, and that's not like directly about electoral politics or Donald Trump, but it is like kind of a vein off of that we're all experiencing. And I think like it starts in hostile street furniture on the record. Like just the phenomenon of hostile street furniture itself is a factor of this like increasingly harsh and crass and violent society that is just like kind of creeping in on us all, and it's affecting our daily lives.
I have a couple follow-up questions. So you said you started writing the album during Trump 1?
No, so that was we started writing music together during Trump 1.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like I feel like that's the band origin story.
Yeah. The origin story is that like Greg and I kind of always we knew each other through Tracy, his now wife. We were always like, should we write music together? And Tracy wanted us to write music together, and I wanted to write music again because I'd taken a hiatus from writing music. And then it was like Trump got elected and I felt I needed an outlet and a way to just put all of my anxiety and aggression to what was going on into something that I could create. And I think Greg felt the same way. And we ended up going to the Women's March together here in L.A. And then just starting to write music and just like used it as an outlet to be able to like deal with all of the emotions around that first election.
Yeah. And I think like there's just, obviously the politics of the country and the politics of how that affects our daily lives kind of was so obvious at that point with the first Trump election that we were like, it just felt, around then people would ask like, what's it like to be a political band? Why are you a political band? And it's just like, well, look at our lives. Like it's impossible to ignore. And I think like as we move through the second Trump term, like, we see it more like even more on our blocks, in our communities, amongst our friends, like the daily overreach of the government and the attempt of the government to affect how everyone lives their daily life is something we both came back to with this record specifically, and also something that we had something new to say about.
Can you speak a little bit more to the new to say in this album? Like, I don't know what hostile street furniture is. What is hostile street furniture for those who don't know?
Okay,
or is it just me?
Yeah, so
and then just speak more lyrically about
Yeah, so like the hostile street architecture is this thing that like people have observed over the last several years of like things on the street in public that are made to make places less comfortable, and specifically for homeless people to not sit there, not stand there, not lay there. And so like hostile street furniture is like, bus benches, like at the bus stop, like how they'll have like a weird bar in the middle or a bunch of bars across them. Like that is like, they're literally there not to give anyone comfort. They're only there to make people uncomfortable, and specifically to make homeless people uncomfortable when they try to lay down on them. That's something where it's just like, it's a harsher society that wants to punish someone who's at a horrible point in their life and just wants to lay down.
And I feel like as far as the having stuff to say around around what's going on right now with this second election. It's more of Greg and I both agreed saying the name, the T name, is it adds to what he wants. It's more about talking about the feelings around what's happening, and it really feels like he's the boiling water. It's like you're the frog in this water, and you feel so powerless. And to me, the only power that I can have is to acknowledge it, first off. Second off, try to resist it with like actual care, kindness, sense of community, and so really trying to first, like with our music, bring light to it, but then also combat it by having it be a sense of community, a sense of like joy,
I think like to piggyback on that, I saw like a study that was published like a couple days ago that was like 37% of Americans think that the country can only be improved through violence, or like the political situation can only be improved through violence. And which is way up from how that used to be. Of course, there's always some people who are like, yeah, violence, but like now it's just like become, and it's not like liberals think this, conservatives think that. It's like all sides think there should be more violence. That is a symptom of like an increasingly harsh, crass, violent society. When we do what we do, like, we're putting out something different. Like, yes, we're talking about the things, but also we're like, this is a place to gather around. This is a place to be safe. This is a place for everybody.
And Cheekface is so good at doing that. Not only like do the shows feel like you're with all your friends and you can sing along and be weird, but even just listening to the music, like you're invited to sing along. I want to talk a little bit. I want to ask about the art. Mandy, I know you do all the art for the albums and they're always incredible, but why the goats?
Okay. So while we were actually in the studio, we were recording, and Greg had cheekily named the album 666 because it's our 6th album. And I was just sitting here, like, while we're recording, I normally try to come up with imagery so that I have something in my head around the music. And I was just like, oh, I really like this idea of going off of things that represent the devil because it's our 6th album. And that's the devil's number. And our last album was a pigeon. And I didn't want to have a single animal like we normally do, because we've done a couple albums that way. And so I was like, how do I represent the number 666 in a very fun, not so head-on way? And how to represent like this like evil devil thing, but in a fun, cute, maybe not too cute, but way. And I was like, what is the one thing that people like really relate when they think of like an animal of the devil? And I was like, a goat, definitely. And I was like, how do I get 3 of them? And how do I make the 666 involved? So it was just like this long, and then my brain just goes on tangents. And I was like, how do I incorporate the 6s? And I'm like, medals. And at first it started with ribbons. It was like, okay, well, sometimes you have goats and you have like, fairs, and they win like their prize ribbons. And I was like, okay, there could be a ribbon. And I'm like, no, what if they were medals? Because we were talking, here in LA, we're talking about the Olympics a lot because they're coming next year. And so it was just like,
I think the Winter Olympics had just maybe happened when we were making the record.
Yeah. So I had Olympic on the brain, and then I was like medals, and then I was like podium, because you have to get on a podium to get your medals, but there's the dual meaning, because then a podium is what you stand on to preach or talk. And I was just like, okay, yes. And it all came together.
Yeah, it was right, if I recall correctly, it was right here in this room, because we were wrapping up the record. We were like 666 it was album 666, and we were like also like trying, like there's 6 different guitars used on the album, there's 6 different snare drums used on the album. Like, here's one of the 6 guitars actually. And so we were like trying to lean into it a little bit, you know, and kind of like embed the numerology into the record. And then and then like we were talking about like, okay, what's the 666 was just the working title because it's the sixth album, but like but then we were like, okay, what's the name? And we were like, oh, maybe like the name could be The Details because like devil's in the details. And then Mandy was like, oh yeah, and like what if the cover art was like goats on a podium and they had 6 medals? And I was like, oh, Podium's a better title for a record. I think I was like Podium or The Podium, and then Echo was like Podium.
Yeah. And then drawing the podium didn't work. So I made the words into kind of a podium-esque thing, but
I think it's brilliant. Is this Greg, Mandy, Echo? No. No one?
guess again.
Okay, Mandy.
No.
You got to draw yourself in first place. Okay, Mandy. Oh.
Everyone's in 6th place.
They were all 6, obviously. But yeah,
Greg?
That's Greg, yeah.
Echo.
Yeah. Don't you see the resemblance?
Yes. Now that I'm looking, yeah. That was. I wasn't looking at it closely.
The one with glasses is Echo.
Well, I love it. Do you want to talk about your inspirations for this album?
Echo, what were your inspirations for this album?
From a visual art standpoint? Yeah, I feel like this will kind of like open up a bigger conversation about kind of like the process of making the record. As Greg and Mandy were sharing the demos with me, and we were starting to get into rehearsing, we were talking a lot about like a sample-based approach, like a 90s hip-hop kind of thing. So like my inspirations, there's a lot of, we were listening to a lot of like Beastie Boys, we were listening to a lot of Beck, and
Hold for dog. Nina, come here.
Yeah, and so like I feel like we can all kind of like speak on that sort of like process and like working with Eric here at the studio, and like trying to explore some like new sounds for us.
Yeah, I think you know, there were some, of course there's like some overarching influences to our records that kind of like carry from one to the next, and then, you know, with anytime we're writing, we're bringing in some new things that we're feeling, and then as we explore a sound, we'll be like, oh, let's try another one like that, let's try another one like that, and kind of like continue to explore in a little space. And yeah, this one, like there's definitely some like late 80s, early 90s hip hop that we were referencing, Young MC, Tone Loc, Beastie Boys, stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, one of the like rules we set for ourselves in making this record was like no samples, no MIDI, obviously no AI. Like we just wanted to have as much human touch as we could. But when you're like, okay, let's make like something that sounds like a hip hop record, where it's like it needs to sound like a sample, it needs to sound like an old record being remade into a new record. Like that was something we had to do here with the studio process. And you know, this space, like Eric's space here, has like a lot of the tools to do that with. So we like set up 2 different drum sets, and like one was like the old school drums with like 2 microphones, and you know, also like there's a Hammond organ, there's a Rhodes keyboard, there's an electric piano, there's a grand piano, there's an upright piano. It's like anytime we wanted to like get something that sounded old or sounded like some vintage in some way, like, you know, it was like, okay, we have all those tools here, we can leave them up, we can run from one to the other, we can be like, does the old school drum set sound better on this? Does it make it sound more like an old hip hop record? Does it make it sound more like a break? You know, so that was really cool and fun, and like unique to the way we were approaching this record in the studio.
Well, you mentioned the studio and Eric, and I just wanted to make space to talk about all the people that were involved in the making of this album. I assume it wasn't just the 3 of you.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, Eric Palmquist produced. He's watching us from the other side of the camera. And Eric had the patience to do the record with all of these, like, rather than do it in the computer, let's do it with instruments. Let's do it ourselves. Let's make the sound.
And he let us break glass in here.
Yes,
you know?
we threw glass bottles into a trash can to try to get like breaking glass sounds.
Which song?
Which did not make it onto the record.
But we did it.
But we did
just
it
for fun.
and so that takes an extra amount of patience and hard work when it's like, well, you can just download that sound, and it's like, but yeah, we're not doing that on this record. Like, we're gonna like do the thing. And then like so just working down from who's on the most tracks. M. Williams played tenor sax, and M's on like six or seven songs. And right behind M is Jer Hunter, aka Ska Tune Network, who's on 5 or 6 songs. Teddy Rockspin's on 3 records, scratching. So the turntabling is another thing where it's like, yes, you can just download that sound from online, but like we thought it'd be way cooler and more fun to like actually use turntables and scratch records. So that's part of it. And then Elise Welch played flute. Elise Okusami played guitar. Who else did a thing? Does that cover? And then like McKinley Dixon did a guest verse on our last record on the song Military Gum. And so we resampled McKinley's verse for that to scratch on the turntables. So there's a little tiny bit of McKinley that crept into this record tape.
I was wondering whose voice that was.
Yeah.
It's Greg rapping.
And Katie.
Oh yes, and Katie McTeague of Pacing fame, who we toured with last year. She had sent me a song and was like of hers, and then we just stole the chord changes from that song and wrote a song over it. Which song was that? It's one of the last songs.
You Can't Do It.
You Can't Do It. Yeah, so that one is like Katie's chord changes with our song on top of it. So thank you, Katie, for the chords.
So I listened to the album
Go on.
a good 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
Great. Only gets better as you listen. I noticed a few themes that I was wondering if they were intentional or not. One thing, and I think this is maybe a theme throughout the last few albums, is that the lyrics have gotten a little bit more suggestive. I don't know if that's just
Sexually
me.
suggestive.
Sexually suggestive. Like, from the last album, Content Baby, I want to be your content. To this one, you've got like suggestions of making out. You're asking people to I mean, there's a song about following a woman with a small dog, finding her really hot. So I'm just curious, like, what's played into that, or is it just me projecting?
Yeah. I think.
You forgot about the cuck chair. Sorry.
Yeah.
I figured I'd
what about the
mention that.
culture?
Yes.
What about the middle spoon?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just catching on now.
Yeah. You're not a.
We're not. It's not slight.
Yeah. It's pretty direct. Yeah. I think. I don't know. Mandy may have a different answer to this than me. I think that like at the beginning of the band, there was like we were a little bit more narrowly focused on what we were just writing lyrics about, and like songs about love and sex were just like not in the Cheekface vocabulary for the first couple records. And I think it was just like that didn't seem interesting to write about at the time. And then like I think also I personally, it's hard for me to hear a love song without it pushing like a nausea button, or a sex song without it pushing a nausea button. Like, it's so easy to write them poorly and for them to be cringe, and I think that's most of them. And so it was almost like, well, I personally was like, I don't want to go into this space where it's always cringe and it always pushes the nausea button. Like, let's just write about something else. Not conscientiously, not like we were going to make a rule, just like that was what we were doing. And I think that like, also like most love and sex songs are so heteronormative. And I think that like heteronormativity was something we wanted to avoid in general with the band. And so, yeah, that was also like, it just seemed like, whatever, we didn't want to go there to me. And then I think like as we kind of refined the Cheekface vocabulary of how a Cheekface song is written, what a Cheekface song is about, like I think we sort of defined the ways to talk about love and sex in a Cheekface song. that were like within the vocabulary of Cheekface songs. And you know, I think that like love and sex are part of the broader social like commentary that we find interesting to write about. And so it made sense to write about it once we figured out how to write about it.
Yeah, I feel like it seeped its way in to our vocabulary because it is something that can be taboo. And it's same with politics, right? Sex politics. It's like, but like bringing in a little humor to it so that it opens the doors for people to talk about it more in a way that feels less reactive. I don't know how else to say it. It's more fun. It's fun to talk about. It's just kind of like, you know, poking, a little poke. Like... Sorry. I will say I tend to say things like that can be taken sexually, but my initial thought is not sexual, like just then, like just a little poke. But it's just like, and then I like the second it comes out, I'm like, yeah. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
It might also be like just a factor of like spending so long together, like when we're basically roommates for like 3+ months out of the year. And when you're like hanging out with your roommates, like in a van, in a shitty motel room, like whatever, in the green room, like we're like coworkers and roommates, like for all of this. And so, you know, you're always just like saying dumb stuff, and like within the vocabulary of dumb stuff one says with roommates and coworkers are like silly, weird, sexually suggestive or romantically suggestive things. And so I think like once it just became more part of our conversation amongst ourselves, it just like was bound to creep into the lyrics more.
And also, just to be clear, none of us are romantically involved.
Sorry to the YouTube commenters who always ask.
I knew that. I'm glad we clarified. Another theme I noticed, and that was a great answer, thank you,
You're
was
welcome.
that in this album specifically, there's a lot of mention of God. For an album that is about Satan or 666, no mention of Satan directly, but I was assuming it was the broader we live in hell situation, but wanted to give you a chance to speak on that.
You just did for us.
Okay,
Yeah.
I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Should we switch the questions to asking you?
Yeah, you should ask me what I thought. I'm doing a deep reading.
I think that's the right read on it. Like, yeah, it's like, you know, there is a like we live in hell, and if we're doing the satanic 666th album, like God's gonna be in it too. I also think like autobiographically for me, like a few years ago, I like joined a Unitarian church. I'm Jewish, like I'm Jewish in upbringing. I've always considered myself Jewish, like Jewish atheist, like many Jews. But like I started going to Unitarian church, which is like a non-religious spiritual space where like you talk about God and other supernatural concepts, and how those concepts bear on our life. And, you know, and so I think like I started to have more vocabulary about religion, about faith, about spirituality. I stopped going. I ended up like after like a year or so. It turns out I'm just not much of a joiner. And like being part of a big organization where you're supposed to get along with everyone peacefully is like I'm not good at it. Everyone's like, yeah, we know. And so like it's not even part of my life anymore, but it did expand my personal vocabulary for talking about stuff like that. So I think that probably like had a residual effect on lyrics we were writing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was actually raised very religious. And it's more of a rebellion of the idea of what is God, you know? Because I was told what God was my entire life. And my own rebellion around that is the fact that you can, whatever God you want to believe in, cool. You know God, to each their own. And it's just like a God can be a dog, you know? It's anything that you put above yourself, you know? If you have a pet and that pet is like, can be your God, sure. Why not? And so like, that's where it's just like,
The Pope does not agree.
I know. Believe me. I know. But it's my form of rebellion from the very religious family that I was brought up in.
Echo. Echo, do you believe in God?
I think God is aliens.
Ooh,
Aliens.
Wow.
What kind of aliens?
Well, I don't know. I haven't been blessed to meet one yet.
What about at the Thing Museum in New Mexico?
Yeah, that's probably the closest I've ever been to God. um, when you're on tour a lot, as we are, you inevitably stop at a lot of small gas stations, small roadside attractions, and along Interstate 10, there's hundreds and hundreds of miles of signs for The Thing, and we had never stopped at The Thing until relatively recently, and we all paid $5 to go through the little like museum, and Nina's really excited about The
Nina's
Thing.
like-
Nina's like, I'm going to protect you from the
it's
thing.
It's like, I am God and I'm speaking.
Yeah, it's just a museum in the back of a gas station with a bunch of exhibits about how the history of the world should actually be viewed through the lens of a long-standing conflict between warring alien races. And so if the museum is to be believed, like the dinosaurs went extinct because they were like used in the battle between these alien races.
They were collateral damage.
Yeah,
in the
like
battle.
World War II, 9/11. It's all these warring alien races, and then at the conclusion of the museum, they have a little body of an alien.
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
titular thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it a compelling body?
It looked like something. If you went on Wayfair and searched alien body,
Yeah.
it looks like something that
And
you
then
would
covered
buy.
it in dirt.
Yeah, you'd buy from Wayfair. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was $5 each.
$5 to see the
There's
face of
7
God.
people in the van. This was $35.
Whoa. Was this the biggest tour scam?
I think Greg thinks it was the biggest tour scam. I think Greg thinks it might be the worst thing that's ever happened to us on tour.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Everyone else thought it
I
rocked.
loved the whole marketing around it. Like they had so many T-shirts and stickers. Like you had to like half of our touring party bought The Thing.
I almost
t-shirts.
wore my The
So-
Thing T-shirt today.
It worked, and I love
It worked for what?
Well,
For whom?
can we talk about another marketing scam?
What's the marketing scam?
Buc-ee's.
No!
Wow.
Wow.
Sorry. And I love marketing scams. This is me not saying I don't like Buc-ee's.
Why is-
okay?
Yeah, where's
In
the
what sense is it
what's
a
the
scam?
scam?
It's a gas station.
That's not a scam.
No,
That's a business.
right? That uses a beaver to sell merchandise.
Okay. Is
And-
that a scam?
Yeah,
That's a
kinda.
mascot.
Is Mickey Mouse a scam?
Yes.
I mean, I guess I don't want to defend that. Mickey Mouse might be a scam too.
It's just a way
Mickey
to make
Mouse
money.
doesn't sell me gas, though.
It's just a way to make money.
Well-
And they're I know like any business is a scam, fine. But like it's not about the gas, it's about the merch. It's about the marketing around the gas.
But that's
right?
true of all gas stations, isn't it?
No. Do you go to like Amco because they have a like cool logo?
But no, it's the
like-
gas gets you in the door to buy something else. Like that's what they always say is like gas stations don't make any money on gas. They make money on the Nature Valley granola bar that you buy inside
But
the snack stand.
It doesn't work that way for me, so I don't think about that. I only buy gas at gas stations unless we're on tour.
That's not true.
I was like,
I've
Mandy,
seen
that's
you
not
buy
true.
so many
No,
things at
unless
gas
we're
stations.
on tour. When we're on tour, I have to live off of that.
I've seen you go by a place and be like, look at that weird lighter of people
I know,
having
'cause
sex,
I-
making sex sounds.
Well, that wasn't a gas station,
No, but it was.
but I do love that. I do
That's
love
not a
finding the
marketing scam?
weirdest thing in the middle of the country, in the middle of
In the middle of England.
But that's because I'm trying to like. We're on tour. You need to like.
Get some culture.
Yes, exactly.
And
Engage
Buc-ee's is
yourself.
culture.
Instead of sitting on your ass in the van for 12 hours a day, like you get up and you find the weird sexual mug that looks like
Yeah, the backshots mug.
yes.
That's crazy.
We find the weirdest stuff on tour.
I feel like that's.
the weirdest stuff.
Is that the weirdest? I feel like that's like typical gas station fare in 2026.
That was handmade.
You think that was thrown on a pottery wheel?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was. Yeah. It looked
Well,
like it.
we'll find the photo of of Echo sipping out of the back
And then
shots mug to
we'll
superimpose
put it
here.
up. We'll put it up.
Oh, you bought it.
No,
No,
but I
we
took
just
pictures.
posed
There's no way I
with
wanted
it.
that thing in my kitchen.
It was too early on tour where you don't want to carry around a glass thing for too long.
Yeah, it was a ceramic mug.
If it was the second to last day of tour,
It was
we might have.
butt-shaped with
Oh, yeah.
lots of white glaze involved.
Yeah.
Well, back to the album, unless you want to talk more about tour.
Unless you want to talk more about the back shots mug Echo.
No further comment.
I had a couple questions about peanut butter prawns. Like, have you eaten that before? Is it supposed to go together?
That's a really interesting question. I'm vegetarian. I don't eat seafood or any other animals. But so peanut butter prawns was something in my notes, and I don't remember exactly why I got there. But I think it's probably because I drove by a grocery store, like one of those like corner markets, where they put up like a picture of a product and the price of that thing in the window, and it just had like peanut butter $6.99, prawns $2.99 a pound, and they were just like right next to each other in a way that suggested that they should be eaten together. I was like, peanut butter prawns, yum, and then like put it in my notes, and the notes doc is like it never ends. Like there's just so anything too stupid to say out loud goes in the notes doc of possible lyrics.
Do you have it on you?
I don't have it in my pocket,
Okay.
but we have it here.
I want a
Otherwise, I
speed
could
of
read some
I just
stuff
want some
out.
random ones.
Wait, no, we can. We totally can. But yeah, peanut butter prawns is just one. And like, so many of those things just get scrolled by and never looked at again. And like, but you just never know when you're like scrolling by or listening. Like we started the instrumental, and you're just like scrolling through lyrics and you're like blurting them out as the like instrumental plays, and it's like peanut butter prawns, and it's just like, okay, of all of the things in here, of all the little observations of life in the world and interior life, peanut butter prawns was the syllables that fit right there, and then it's like that's a song now.
Well, like part of our writing process is Greg's notes app. So it's like, we normally write the music first. We'll write the music first. It goes down, or one part at least, and then Greg will kind of scat with his notes app over that music, and then I'll be like that, and I'll be like that one, that one's the one that worked, and we'll just kind of write the song around whatever that one thing from his notes app. Sometimes this is not all the time.
I'd say, I mean that's the majority for sure.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you get one thing. It's like you're working through a crossword puzzle and you finally get a word and you're like, oh, cool, I have that word in the middle of the puzzle. Now I can try to figure out all the words attached to it. So yeah, that's kind of how it works.
So you built the song around peanut butter.
Oh yeah,
prawns.
like we had like most of the instrumental like that we'd just been cobbling together as we were just jamming in the room, and then the word popped in there, and then it was like, okay, peanut butter prawns, like what is, and then we'll usually talk about like, okay, what does that suggest, and
And what does it suggest? I think that's the song I'm most confused about, because I'm a vegetarian. I think I'm just like a little disgusted by the idea.
I don't think it's a food that people eat. I don't think that's like
I don't
a
want to offend
normal-
anyone if it's good. I keep kosher.
So, someone in the comments will be like,
and I'm
"Actually?"
sorry.
Oh yeah, no, it's not
I
kosher
don't want to
either.
yuck your yum.
From what I remember, when he said peanut butter prawns, I was just like, gross. Same reaction.
Okay.
And it was more of like, but when you think about it more, like a lot of like Thai food.
Yeah.
It actually does go together. So, and then it was like, well, it could be a song about a relationship. Like, why are people that are very different attracted to each other, and how does that make, what happens there, and how we just talked about it a little bit. And like,
and I think weirdo togetherness is a thread that we go to often in how when we're writing lyrics, and I thought like, because peanut butter is literally sticky, so it's like, okay, it sticks together. And then I think like, also I think you asked us earlier about like songs that were sexually suggestive, is like, and if you call about something sticky, if you mention something sticky, it's just automatically sexually suggestive. So it was like, okay, like there's like something sexually suggestive about like binding things together with a sticky substance, and it's like, all right, like that's, I think that goes like anything like that where you just like start imagining things, or we just start imagining things, is just like we're just like, oh yeah, like that's like, usually in the room we'll just be like, that's a fat idea. Like that idea has like lots of things to pull out, lots of parts to pull out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like just those 3 words like was like, oh, there's just like so much there to work with.
And it's very like visual, which isn't normal for us, I don't think. Sometimes. But those 3 words together is just like you want to create a scene in your head.
And even though like I don't know if those words have ever been joined in the English language before, they do feel good when you say them. Peanut butter prawns, like because you get the alliterations, you get the R's and T's that are like bouncing off of each other, and like the kind of evolution through a few vowel sounds. Like sometimes people say a lyric is chewy, like that's kind of like a chewy lyric. So yeah. Peanut butter prawns.
Peanut butter prawns. And then the romantic relationship is a GameStop employee and
2 GameStop employees.
2. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
Yeah. And it's like I don't think the song necessarily confers whether they're in a romantic relationship or just a very tight friend relationship that may have a friends with benefits component ? Yeah, I think like that's left to the imagination by the song.
And did you make up these GameStop employees, or did you go to GameStop, see a couple employees?
We did not go to GameStop and interview employees who we thought might be in like a very tight friendship that might tip into situationship at times.
Yeah, we don't do research.
I was just curious if you were inspired by real life.
I mean, definitely like we've known people who used to work, or you know, I guess I don't know if anyone who now works at GameStop, but someone in the comments will be like, you know me and I work at GameStop. So
okay, cool. It's them.
Maybe it's them.
Awesome. And for the record, like I do like Thai food, and peanut prawns makes sense.
Peanut sauce, yeah.
Yeah, peanut sauce.
Great.
Yeah, that makes sense. Are there any other lyrics that you're like, this is an Easter egg, we want to like share it now with the super fans listening to this as a reward?
Yeah, the cuck chair lyric is like, that is one where that's like you spend enough time in motels when you're on tour, and they all have a cuck chair.
And what is a cuck chair?
So a cuck chair is, it's a meme basically, but like every hotel room has a chair in it, just a chair that is in the corner. And the reason it's become like a meme is because people are like, oh yeah, that's like where you sit in the hotel room while someone else has sex with your partner. And obviously like cuck is also a word in society that has like a political valence now. But of course it has like, it's as old as Shakespeare at least. Like it's in Romeo and Juliet, that like a cuckold. And so like, you know, the like, oh, I like, it's basically like, I fucked your girl last night, bro. Like that's kind of like the like Middle Ages or like Renaissance meaning of it. Like it's kind of like a jab at somebody. Now it has like this political, like, you know, I don't know, like Alex Jones type of valence to it, like liberal cucks, there's such blah blah blah. You like snowflakes and you need testosterone and stuff, or whatever. And then obviously there's like this sort of pornographic meaning that is like taken hold in society as well. But like the cuck chair is kind of interesting because the original meaning and the like Alex Jones meaning are like kind of like they're kind of punishing, or they're kind of like making fun of someone like to a greater or lesser extent. But like the cuck chair itself is like, that's a consensual thing. Like, so I think that's like what maybe like made us feel like, besides the fact that we see them like every night, it's also like, you know, it plays with like the societal meanings and the sexual meanings in a way that like, I don't know, like I feel like a lot of other bands would not mention the cuck chair. And this is the kind of band where you could mention it like several times in a song. So yeah.
Yeah, challenge those societal norms.
Yeah, you're rebranding the cuck chair.
Yeah, we're reclaiming the cuck chair. Yeah, we're taking it back.
La di da da da. Oh, I love that chorus a lot. What is the influence for that chorus specifically? Because I feel like that sounded like it did feel reminiscent of like the 90s or 80s.
I don't know about the chorus specifically, but the
I'm like
song.
thinking of the song right now. I'm like,
The song was Mandy brought in what was that Silver Sun pickup song?
yeah. Started with the looping.
Is it Panic
looping
Switch?
bass line. Yeah, yeah,
Like-
Panic Switch.
Yeah,
I was like, this bass line is,
Yeah.
one of my favorites. Like, let's write a song based on this, and it started that way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And lyric wise, yeah.
It just went where it went.
I feel like the most political of the songs.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like probably Discreet is probably
Oh, wait,
and
which
Black
one?
Site. Those are
Yes.
kind of like the direct like
Yeah.
military police state ICE like fascists in the streets type of records.
Yeah, writing
That's
those
true.
songs just out of pure frustration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just out of anger and fear and terror and wanting to lash out.
Thank you for lashing out on our behalf. My songs about the government are just fuck the government. So I like the elevated approach.
No, I it's funny because I think like in our past records, it's like we wanted to say political messages, but we didn't want them to be that sloganeering. And I think like on this record, we kind of felt more comfortable just being like, especially because like sometimes you're like, is everything as bad as I'm imagining it? And then as we were writing this record, I think we were like, clearly things are as bad as we're imagining them. In fact, they may even be worse than imagined when it comes to like the police state, when it comes to abductions, like officially sanctioned abductions of ordinary people, as it comes to summary executions of people in the street, like, which like, I don't know. So like older leftists may be like, yeah, same shit, different day. But like, I think to us, like we were kind of like, wow, this is in sharper relief now than it's ever been. And even like, Black Site, like obviously references the war in Iraq and the war on terror of the 2000s. So we are, like old enough to connect the dots back that far, and be like, okay, like that's, like the idea that there's secret government prisons where people are tormented extrajudicially. That's not new. That's not new in our lifetimes. Like that's something that like the United States likes to run back. And if you went back another generation, there's more examples. And if you went back a generation before that, there's more examples. Like that's something that the U.S. government does that is supported by people who live in America, and that's why the government does it. But yeah, I think like some of the like secret police on the street abducting people, murdering people, with no semblance of a judicial system is something that feels very unique to now, at least in our lifetimes.
Yeah. And specifically while we were writing here in L.A., it was just in your face, and very disturbing. So it was just like we felt like wanting to access some sort of power around the situation, and that was like we could write songs, and that was a way of at least voicing our opinion on our own city and where we were living. Yeah.
And do you feel like, I know you disguised your voice a little bit on that song. Was that just for the effect? I really like it. Is it the effect, or were you like, I'm nervous to say this?
No, not at all. Not at all about being nervous to say this. I think like the pitching down my voice on that was sort of, it is the like, am I crazy for seeing all this kind of thing? And like also trying to like, like the song shifts perspectives. So it's also like you want to draw attention to the perspective shifts that are happening, and not be like, this is, when I say I in this, it's not like me, Greg. Like, you kind of want to like just be like, you have to look for some other speaker in here. And so there's that. But also it's just like, as you put together thoughts or attempt to put together thoughts about that kind of thing, there is a feeling of like, I'm looking in the broken funhouse mirror. Like the funhouse mirror already looks weird. Now it's shattered. It looks even weirder. Maybe it's reflecting off another broken funhouse mirror that's making it look even weirder and harder to cognize, harder to metabolize. And I think that like the vocal like pitch effect was a way of like increasing that funhouse horror kind of feeling.
It's also a way, like during that time, and even now, like when you're hearing stories on the radio or people being interviewed that are involved in these situations with the government, they don't want to say their names. They don't want to like, they want their voice to be disguised. So it's just another way of being discreet. It's just like you need to disguise who you are, but want to say what you're saying. So it's just another nod to that.
I'm going to change the topic from one terrible, like something completely different and I won't say equally terrible, but also terrible. I think people will be curious about MFT. I know that song's about like AI and it's based on a girl who used it to kill herself.
So MFT is about was inspired specifically by a news story in the New York Times about a girl named Sophie. It's actually a memoir of her by her mom, and it's basically like finding out that her daughter, who had committed suicide, had told ChatGPT or one of the other chatbot services, like she was using ChatGPT as a therapist because she was like, if I tell my real therapist that I'm thinking about suicide, my therapist has to report it. But if I just tell ChatGPT, it's not going to say anything. And so that's where I will confide this really dark information. I think like we intentionally sort of left vague in the song what the dark information is, because really it's in some ways it's material, and some ways it isn't, because like this is just a place to go and put dark information that you wouldn't want somebody to report elsewhere. And there's nothing requiring that the chat parts report it somewhere else. But I think like, at least my view, I don't know if Mandy sees it the same way, as we were writing it, was like, it's more of a song of sympathy to the person like who's living the pain, and less of a song about like how the government should regulate AI or how AI is affecting our lives. It's like that feeling of despair and having nowhere to turn and feeling like there's no safe person to talk to. Like it was relatable, and that like, yes, it's like a uniquely 2026 like solution to that problem, to be like, I'll just tell the computer because it'll answer like a person, even though it's not a person, so I'm still alone. And it doesn't bring in the problems of talking to another person. So that's unique, but the feeling of despair and feeling lost and whatnot, that's could be any time.
Yeah, I feel like when we wrote it, it wasn't necessarily about what you're supposed to do or what needs to happen, or again, like Greg said, having any government oversight over AI. It's more just like, this is happening. The services that we have in place, I'm not happy with. I don't think a lot of people are, for people that are going through suicidal thoughts, and there isn't, and people are turning to AI, and it's like, it's just what's happening. And I felt like, Greg and I were just sitting there talking about it and being like, this is happening. It's sad, and we all want somewhere to go, someone to talk to, and Greg and I talk about therapy all the time. I'm a big proponent of going to therapy.
We're known therapy attenders.
So it's just like a lot in our writing sessions, we talk about, what's going on in the week. And it's like, oh, what did I say to my therapist this week? Okay. And it comes out in our songs and our lyrics. You will hear exactly that in our lyrics. For sure. So, when this was when Greg brought this article up to me, I was like, yeah, this is important. Let's write about it.
Yeah. And also like at the time when like I read it, I was like, that was the first I'd heard about that happening, and it may have been one, if not the first story about it, like an early story about it. But in the time between writing that song and now, like those stories have just proliferated to a normalcy where it's like not novel anymore. It's just like it's part of life. In a way, it was like we felt like we're writing something novel. Now it feels like we're documenting just a sign of the times. Yeah, and also none of this should be confused for being sanguine about AI at all. AI is bad. It's bad. There's nothing good about it.
On that song, and when I listened to it, it was so haunting. Your vocals, I love them, and I feel like everyone's gonna want more of you. You're always like, even when you're doing the background like noises, it's like such a treat. Do you want to talk a little bit about how you came to sing on that song?
So when we demoed the song, Greg sang the whole song, and when we were recording it in this room, Greg brought up the fact that maybe I could sing a verse. And I was like, I'll try. I'm shy, and I'm not like someone who necessarily wants to be a lead singer. And I've always kind of voiced this to Greg, but I also love singing. So that's why I do a lot of singing in the background. The guys here kind of pushed me and gave me a little like, do it. and I do have a very, I did really care about this song a lot, and I knew that it needed to have the right tone in how it was being sung, and I felt that I could do it. Like I've had a lot of struggles with my own mental health, and so I was just like, okay, yeah, I feel connected to this voice, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we started the band, like, one of our first conversations was like, are we writing for me to sing? Or are we writing for you to sing? And you were like, we're writing for
not me.
this person to sing. And I was like, and you were clear about it. And I was like, all right, cool. I respect it. And so I've been singing since then, and trying not to be like, you need to sing more. Cause no one wants to hear that. But yeah, I think like when we floated this idea, like while we were sitting here, like working on this song, I was like, I don't want to like over push this, but I think it could be really cool to what this song is. And you were kind of just like, yeah, I'll do it. Like you weren't like, oh, I need to be convinced. Why are you making me do something? And we were just kind of like, yeah, I got that one.
Well, while we're here in the studio, I normally try to keep the headset of let's try it. With any idea it's flown. So sure, that might have been what came out of my head, out of my mouth. But what was going on in my head was like,
Well, I'm glad you did it, and I'm glad that you pushed Mandy, and I think you did a great job. And yeah, I think that mental health is like a huge issue right now. I don't really know anyone who's well, and I think why Cheekface is so effective is that you kind of document and like process this collective insanity and verbalize it through disjointed, like, sometimes aloof, funny lyrics in a way that like makes me be like, oh, it's not just me. Like, I'm not seeing this in isolation. And that's, I think, why you're becoming such a successful band, or you've been successful. And so I want to take a moment to like talk about like, where are you? This is your 6th album. You've gone on how many shows have you played?
Yeah. I would say, 6 albums in. I recently heard that there are 12 Billy Joel albums that he retired after his 12th album. And he was like, I think I've said it all. I don't want to write any more music. Like 12's enough. And I think so. I think like I could abide by the Billy Joel,
by the
12. Like 12. So like at this point, I would say we're about halfway done with the band.
I know that I've heard a rumor that Mandy does not like Billy Joel.
I do not. It's not. I think that he's very talented. As a singer, a songwriter.
That's like what my mom would say. You're very talented.
Yes, I'm a Springsteen fan. And I grew up in New Jersey, and there's kind of
Jersey came out.
There is a if you live there, the people in Long Island, they like Billy Joel. The people in Jersey, you gotta side with Springsteen.
And how many albums did Springsteen do?
I don't
God,
know.
who's gonna make
I have
what do you
no
think?
idea.
Echo like 50?
Echo.
He's still going, right?
Yeah, he's still making
Still
them.
going. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's
still
true.
actually came out with something recently.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he can put on an album last year. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I think if we're on the
Nice.
Springsteen scale, we're like less than 10% done. But if
Right.
we're on the Billy Joel timeline, we're about halfway done with the band. Yeah, I think we could make 6 more albums. I think that's like doable. I mean, I like the stuff we wrote for the record that we're gonna make next already. So,
Oh, anything you want to like, tease out for the next record? Any new themes?
We never know what's gonna make it.
You don't
yeah,
any new.
that's
Okay.
true. Although
It's
some working titles are what were they? Chateau Marmont.
Oh.
There's one called Fish Sticks. There's one called Mascot. There's one called Wraparound Shades. There's one called You Can't Really Trust Doctors. That's just like the first line. There's one. I can't remember the other one. Might have been like Trotsky Notes app, I think was the working title. Yeah, so I don't know. There's songs bubbling up. Whether those all make it to a record, we don't know. But yeah, I think they're cool.
Yeah.
I think if
Yeah, we're still going.
yeah,
Still going.
yeah. I mean,
still right.
and I wish I knew how many shows we'd actually played.
Yeah,
I'm sure a
It's
fan knows. Put it in the comments.
definitely been.
It's been a few
maybe
hundred.
100. Yeah.
How many
Maybe
tours?
200.
Probably 200.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we've done the full US like as a big tour like 3 times, and we've also done like chunks of the US separately, and then we've been to the UK 3 times. We got to get to Australia. We got to get to Mexico. We got to get to Japan.
Let's just go all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone pay us to go there.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, I just watched, the season finale of Veep. Love that show.
Okay.
And, her whole thing that she's like, if I'm a success, I'm playing Madison Square Garden. Do you have a kind of like, this is how, like, this is it, I've done it? Or are you kind of just like, that target keeps moving?
I feel like once you do that to yourself, you're limiting yourself.
That's true.
And also, it's just like every time we play a big show, it's just, I'm in awe. I'm just like, okay, wow, we get to do this again. In my past, career as a musician, I downplayed all of that and was always looking to the next. I was looking to the next big thing, and it made me not present in the present. So I've learned from that. And with Cheekface, it's more of like just trying to be present in the successes we have.
And
It's going on right in front of us. So, yeah.
I'm going to ask a really hard question, but how do you stay present in the successes? Like, do you do anything? This is for me too.
Well, we can go into like pre-show ritual.
I'd love to know. Yeah.
That's like definitely a way to stay present. For me, we do breathing exercises all together as a community backstage. The 4 of us, before we go on stage, we do some breathing exercises. I always stretch to get in my body to center myself. Again, these are like my coping skills are center myself in my body to be present, make sure I'm breathing. I use my voice. I do a very loud ha to like
Ha!
that. I do that before going on stage so that like it clears out all whatever you got inside, but it also like makes me present within my body at the time I'm going to be going on stage. And it's just, instead of like my brain up in the clouds thinking about what I'm going to do tomorrow, it's like, no, this is what you're doing right now. And you are going to go in front of these people and be present with these people in this room, because that is where I find joy. So, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's like writing a song is still the number one thing. It's just still the thing where I'm just like, it's fun, it's easy, it's low stakes, but like in the moment, you're like, I'm proud of this, I'm happy with this, like all the rest of it's gravy, and it's cool that like that process still feels so satisfying, because like so much of the rest of what we do just kind of flows out of it. Like I feel like to the extent that like we're a popular band, it's like the popularity is just driven by people liking the music, and not because like we're Instagram influencers or like magazine cover models or whatever. So So yeah, it's just cool that the music can be at the center of it, and that the process of making it, of writing it, of recording it, is just like still like, it's still a fun process.
I also think Mandy spoke about pre-show rituals, but one of our post-show rituals is that we hang around the merch table and we meet all the fans. And so like whoever wants to like say hi can. And I think if you don't do that, if like every night the show is just kind of like this like faceless mob, I think you could kind of get lost in it. But personally, I feel like it's really grounding to get to talk to someone one-on-one. And it's like, yeah, we've been doing it for 3-4 weeks in a row, and like sometimes shows can have a tendency to like blend together, but then you talk to someone who's like, this is the highlight of my month or my year, and like it just really reminds you like how special it is. And I think that's good for keeping yourself grounded and in the moment. And every night is super special.
Yeah, and we're lucky to have cool fans too, because I think like a lot of times like people are like, oh, you guys are so cool with fans, like why, my other favorite bands, they don't talk to people, they don't DM back, they don't meet people at the merch table. And it's like, yeah, that's because most bands' fans are horrible. Like, no offense to other bands, because it's not their fault that their fans are horrible, but like, yeah, it's like you don't want to go face down those people. It's too punishing. Like, our fans are cool, fortunately for us, so we can interact with them without like experiencing extreme distress.
Your fans form a line at the bar, even when that's like not.
Yes, there was a famous incident when we played in Denver, that after the show, like the fans spontaneously started picking up all the trash at the venue and just putting it in the trash cans. And then there was a note, like, because like it was with one of the corporate venue chains, so they keep notes on the artists on the back end. They have like a little database of like, oh, they have a big mosh pit, or they have, artist goes on an hour late or whatever. Like, so our note on their back end is like, most polite fans ever. They picked up their own trash.
Great. I love it. As a Cheekface fan, I'm very proud of this.
Yeah, no, it's everyone's doing great.
Now for a lightning round. Favorite tour snack?
Cheese crackers filled with peanut butter.
Cheez-Its. Duh.
Blue Diamond Smokehouse almonds, which is at every gas station. That's like, I feel like vegan, vegetarian musicians, that's like the thing.
High protein.
But I'm allergic to them, so I can't have them.
Don't have those. Don't
Cashews
feed those to
for
Mandy.
me. Favorite song on the album? Is that too hard?
I'll go peanut butter prawns.
There is a God.
No Fly Zone.
Astrological sign.
Gemini.
Virgo.
Sagittarius.
Oh, I see it. Okay, Hailey Bieber smoothie, yay or nay?
Go to Jamba Juice.
And
Wow.
have you had it?
Yeah.
We've all had it.
We've all
had it.
We had it in the
For-
process
yes.
of making the video.
The video for There Is a God. Yeah. I think it's just an overpriced strawberry milkshake.
I want to say taste is yay.
Yeah.
Value is hype is
Yeah.
like the taste, it doesn't taste bad, it tastes good.
It tastes good.
But not
strawberry
nearly as
milkshake.
good as a Jamba Juice.
I don't know if it's not, when was the last time you went to Jamba Juice?
Okay, it's been a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. Jamba Juice is all sugar. It's like super sugar.
I mean, so is the Haley Bieber. Yeah.
Yes.
Cheekface smoothie.
Yeah,
What's in it?
Yeah, what flavor is going to be a Cheekface smoothie?
Peanut butter.
And prawns.
So gross. So gross. Wow. Cheez-Its and
Everything bagel seasoning.
Not the everything bagel smoothie.
Okay, weirdest thing in Mandy's tour rider.
In Mandy's tour writer.
my tour writer.
Or most specific thing, not weirdest. Or in your tour rider.
We don't have anything super weird in our writer.
Okay.
That's why it's just kind of like, well, our writer's kind of boring.
It's pretty.
It's
Most
not
boring thing in the tour rider.
the most boring thing. Hummus.
Yeah.
Hummus is kind of boring.
Yeah, those venues are like, you don't have to ask for hummus. We already
brown.
have that.
Favorite venue that you've played?
Wait, hold on. Can I go back on the tour writer?
Yeah, you
On
can
the
always go
hummus
back.
point specifically,
Oh, okay.
it actually says in our writer, get a store brand or store made hummus and not name brand hummus, because I feel like that is just so much better than like your Sabras, your Cedars. I feel like that stuff is just like this industrial paste that has no flavor, it has no creaminess, but like that's just kind of they make in the store, and they put like a laser printed sticker on that's like store brand hummus. I feel like it's always better.
What do you dip in your hummus?
Carrots.
Cheez-Its.
Ooh.
Baby carrots and sometimes chips.
Chips. What do you drink on stage?
Water.
Water.
Boring. You're bringing out the boring.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I honestly really take a water break on stage. I got too much to do. I have to really be feeling it to take a water break.
Okay, biggest fear.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Scary.
Being licked repeatedly by a dog.
Oh.
This is immersion therapy for me.
Echo.
It's basic, but dying.
Yeah, me too.
Why are you afraid of dying?
Because I
Aren't
don't know
you-
what happens.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, that's scary as hell.
But you're no longer anxious. It's gonna
Wow.
be such a relief.
Wow.
Agree to disagree.
I guess mountain passes with our van and trailer.
That makes sense. What album do you like to play on tour
Oh, great question.
Which album?
or song?
Perform or play
Like play when you're in the bus,
Yeah,
when you're in the van.
In the van.
What are you playing on Spotify?
I like to go golden era hip hop. 36 Chambers by Wu-Tang, Daily Operation by Gangstar, Illmatic by Nas, like stuff like that. That's like, especially like if I'm driving, like, you know, that's the stuff where I'm like 45 minutes is going to fly by if I put this record on.
I'm more of the 90s hip hop. We got the
That's
De La
90s
Soul,
that's 90s hip hop?
Tribe Called Quest, and you say like, I'm more in the smooth hip hop.
That's not what you request when we're in the
Yes,
van.
I do.
You're like, put on Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, that's
You
not true.
are. Don't lie.
But when I get to pick, I guess I put on Hot Hot Heat. I
I
listen
love
to
Hot Heat.
in the van. We put like something that's a little like, okay, let's have
Bandages.
some, yeah.
That and your like Dino Jr.
Oh yeah,
playlist.
Dino Jr., Sonic Youth, yeah, that. I'm 90s.
90s pilled.
90s. Yeah.
I feel like I usually take the modern indie rock in the van. I'm putting on the MJ Linderman, the car seat headrest.
Yeah. He puts on the music that's very sleepy.
But-
I was like, you're driving. Don't you want to wake up?
We do have to shout out baseball games.
Yeah.
We listen to a lot of baseball games on the radio in the van.
Yep, it's the Yankees game, you know, for 4 Pacific, and Dodgers game at 7 Pacific. Like there's if we got a long drive day,
tour's
we're gonna
gonna be
listen to a
different,
lot
though.
of baseball. We're still gonna be listening to baseball.
It's baseball season still happening?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Put your headphones on. Sorry, we're not gonna listen to the same Dino Jr. album for the 9,000th time.
Oh no. I choose Dinosaur Jr. over baseball.
I don't even know if Jay Mascis chooses Dinosaur Jr. over baseball.
What are you reading right now?
Okay, so I have a bad habit of subscribing to magazines that I do not read.
You gave me this question also.
I know.
You wanted to share it.
So I've made a pact with myself that every time a magazine comes, I will read at least one story. And I read the most recent New Yorker story about the Swiss population trying to decide if they're going to have a population cap of 10 million people. That Switzerland can have no more than 10 million people. It's currently like 8.5 million. So I've been reading that. It's one of those long, you know.
And what's your
20,000.
stance? Cap or no cap?
I
I'm
mean,
just-
it's like, I mean, like Swiss politics are not very feisty. Obviously, it's like known as like a neutral country, and like the cap thing is a far right thing, but the far right in Switzerland is like not as far right as like the far right in other places. So there's a part of definitely like my gut reaction is like, oh, the far right likes this. Like this is bad. There should just be more Swiss people. Also, like a large number of people in Switzerland are like either immigrants or like the children of recent immigrants. So it's like, it's like immigrants are good. Immigrants make places better. Like, we should not be worried about immigrants or immigrants having children. Like, let them bring their good food from somewhere else.
Yeah, follow that.
Just this year particularly, I've been reading a lot of spicy books, and so I have a group of girlfriends that like to pass around our books to each other, and the last one I read was the first installment of Ice Barbarians. And if you know, you know. And,
Sound off in the comments if you know.
talk about aliens.
Oh,
It might be a book for Echo.
I thought it was maybe a
I mean,
hockey
Ice
romance.
Barbarians. Sounds.
Yeah, I
sounds
thought it was a
interesting.
hockey romance too.
I'm-
That was my first reaction.
I like heated rivalry, but yeah.
I love Heated Rivalry. Yeah.
Yay or nay?
Yay. But yeah, so it's just been fun because it's like I know that the spicy books are definitely having a big time right now, but it's been nice to have like a group. It's like a group to like talk about fun. It's not serious, obviously, but it's like a group of girls. You get together and have spicy conversation around a book. It's kind of, that's fun.
It's fun.
A group of spicy ladies. Spice Girls.
Exactly. I got my own Spice Girls.
I'm reading Station 11 right now. I'm like halfway through, so the verdict's still out. It was definitely a little unpleasant to start. I didn't realize it was like a apocalyptic via pandemic kind of thing. And I was like, I don't know if I want to be reading about a pandemic. Still too soon. But it sucked me in.
Cool.
So I'm reading Station 11.
And one other one, Diary of a Mad Girl by Nicole Levin.
Shout out.
Thank you. My book. Well, I remember my question from earlier, and it was like, do we think Cheekface is becoming a cult? And we don't actually have to answer that.
What do you think? What's your read on it?
You've got some cult vibes, and I think that if you don't stay grounded, you could definitely get there.
No
'Cause you
abuses
know,
of
like,
power.
In this lab where we're all looking for something to believe in.
Yeah.
Your shows have religious energies to them.
I try not to go too youth pastor with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't tried abusing our power yet, but we could dip our toe into that and see if it works.
Will that be our next album?
That was the question. I wanted to know how you stay rooted to your like values and beliefs, like as you grow.
That's a really good question, actually.
And we can end on that.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say, like, we like it to be fun. We like to say no to things that aren't going to be fun. We like to say yes to things that are going to be fun, even if there's no real other justification for them, or even if they don't make any sense, really, just because it's going to be fun. And I think that's been a guiding principle of the band from the jump, and something we'll keep doing.
Yeah, it's more just like there's you are just you, and there as long as you stay who you are and don't let other people's perception of you change your view of yourself, then you're gonna stay grounded. And that's just I don't me being earnest, but
Do you read the comics?
I do not.
Okay.
I specifically have in my life I've been through it before and have learned from it and have learned that there are things that help me keep me grounded, and one of those things is not reading the comments and really trying to remember that like everyone has their own shit going on in their lives and their comments have to do with that and have nothing to do with me. So if I end up hearing something or, it's just kind of like, okay, that's kind of funny. I can like take myself out of it and like just be like, oh, okay. Like has nothing to do with me. Whatever it was, they just decided to like try to dig or do whatever. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with their perception of me, which is not me. So anyway.
I don't stay grounded.
Echo
My ego
has the biggest
my
ego
ego is
ever.
fucking out of control. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy.
Watch out.
Wow. Echo.
Yeah.
Alien God believing echo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dark horse. Well, I think we should end it there unless there's any other words you want to end on.
No. That's great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
for
Nicole.
the
Thanks,
time,
Nicole.
Good job.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Mallory.
Thank you, Nina.
And
Thank you,
Nina,
Nina.
wherever.
Thank you, Nina.
Oh, there she is.
Thank you, Nina.